Okay, going to show you how to access the VDI and then get yourself set up with a virtual machine. So log into the VDI as normal. I'm using the HTML version. You can use the downloaded version as well. Log into the computing and we should get a machine coming up. There we go. Now that's us on the machine. The first thing we want to do is map the network drive, so it's //GCFSRV02. Now write that down because you're going to need that again and again a few times. Okay, so make sure you write that down. So //GCFSRV02 and keep a hold of that somewhere. Stick a post-it note on your monitor or whatever, but keep a hold. Right, now there's VM store. What we want to do here then is map network drive. Okay, now choose the Z drive every time. Okay, always choose Z drive. If it's mapped already, you can check to see, and then you're fine. You don't have to do it. So I've mapped it already, so you can see here VM store has been mapped to Z already. Okay, so that's me getting in here. Now what I'll do for you is under courses, say you were HNC Computing, what I would do is add you as a user. Right, and then in there what we can do is you can start saving your virtual machine. So in here we'd create a new folder and just call it VM. Okay, so you're going to map to that drive. Now I'll show you how I done it using VirtualBox. So using Oracle VirtualBox, and you go File, Preferences, and choose to go. So the default would be on the C drive. So I'm going to go Other. Okay, and then into the VM store. So I'm going to go for yours would be under courses, and then your course name, and then your name. Okay, but I'm going to go for Staff, George Marketeer, and then the VM folder, and select that folder. Okay, then OK. Now, if I want to get a new machine going, what I can do is, if I'm in the VM, go back to the VM store. Ready made for you, there's ISO files, so Windows 10. You can copy that over to your folder, which would be easy, or we could just run it from here. Now that might take a while though, so sometimes you're quicker copying it over. So I'll show you what I've got. So into Staff, Choice Marketeer, and then VM. There's my Windows 10 ISO here. Okay, so I've already copied that over. There's a server 2019 that I've set up already as well, so I'll give you a quick demonstration on how this is working. So if I want to add the server 2019, I would go Machine, Add, and then I would go look for the machine that I've already got set up, and then just click on that, and then that would open it up. So that would give me that. So you're going to need that every time though when you go into the virtual machine, because you might get logged on to a different physical machine. Okay, now if I want to set up a new machine, so let's go for Windows 10, and we're using the ISO this time. Help if I can spell. So Windows 10, I'm just going to put test. Now make sure it's going to the machine folder that you want it to, Windows 10 64-bit, which is good. Give it the desired amount of RAM that you want. Okay, so I'm going to go 4 gig, and I'm going to create a new one. Now you could use an existing virtual hard disk file, and you can go find that in an existing folder. So if you went to the folder already, what we can do, I'll show you on here. Yeah, so if we wanted to go to the students folder, we could go to image files and server 2019, right, open that up, and then you can see we would have in here, but you won't see it just now, but it would show up with the file. Okay, so in test or whatever. So there's this file there. Use that, and you can just use that to link to, and that would open up. Now, what we're going to do is create a new one though. So create, okay, virtual disk image, usual stuff, don't need as big as that. That'll do. Right, create. So Okay, a virtual hard disk. Okay, so obviously do the usual, get your settings right and whatever else first. So set up your network adapter for there, and then enable the second one. Make sure that's an internal network. Go to advanced and allow all. Okay, so it's there. Now other things you can do, I suppose, are you can do the shared clipboard and drag and drop, allowing you to do things. You can also add a shared folder if you want to, so if you want to mount a machine, a folder to it, you can do so. If you want to be dragging and dropping stuff into there, you can. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm good with that. So we'll go start. Now remember, I've copied over the ISO to my folder, so you need to know where that is. Okay, so there we go. Now what I've done is, I'm going to go look for it, so I can go add if you can't see it. Right, you go in here and go to Windows 10 and you can see that I've got the disk image file there. Okay, so it's under my folder, so that would be course, your name, VM, and if you've copied over to Windows 10, open that. Okay, and then there we go, and then choose, and then start. Now obviously it's going to go through the usual setting up of Windows, so I'm going to pause it. So going through the usual steps, just setting up your location, obviously with United Kingdom, and then go through the setup. Okay, and we'll come back to it when the setup's almost done. Okay, Windows 10 just finalising its install. If you need to know how to install it, there is a video already that I've put up, which you'll find on my YouTube channel, which I'll put in the presentation later. Okay, here's us with our complete machine, but what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother testing, I'm just going to shut it down. Now, it's important, once you get your machines going, that you always shut down. Don't put it into save state or anything else, shut it down. Okay, that's it shut down, and you can see Windows 10 test is there. Now, to double check, I'm going to go into the VM store, into stuff, and we're going to have a look. So this would be your folder, going to VM, and there's the Windows 10 test that I've just created. So you can see the machine's there, everything's there. Okay, so that's done. So we know we've got that. Now, for the next video, what I'll do, I'll show you how to access it if you end up on a different machine other than the one you're actually on just now, because the likelihood is, because it's the VDI, you're going to end up on a different machine almost every time you log in. So on the next part of the video, I'll show you how to get your machine back again and up and running on any machine. So in the meantime, I'm just going to close down this one, and then I'll come back in again and show you on the next video. So remember, when you're coming out of VMware, go power and disconnect. Okay, make sure you disconnect. Okay, and then it'll come up and say you've been disconnected, and that's me. So I'm out of here, and I'll come back for the next part of the video and show you how to get your machine back again, no matter which virtual desktop you're on. Okay, here's me logging into a different desktop, I think, so we'll wait and see. It's just logging in now. So this is going to show you what happens if you log into a different desktop from the one you were in before, because obviously everything would be different. You'd be losing where your machine was, you'd be losing the map drive, things like that. So I'm going to show you again, just to make sure that you get this right and you're able to get your machine back every time. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is map the drive again, so GCFSRV02. Now we'll have to do that every time. just going to pause this while all these things, defaults, come up. Okay, I've skipped past all the error messages that come up when you first log into one of these machines. So I'm going to map the network drive. Remember what I said, choose Z every time. Okay, so finish. And there's our map drive, so it's here. Now, I'm going to start up. Now remember, you'll have yours saved to courses or whatever you're on, so the HNC computing one, there's a test user, and your virtual machines will be in here, okay? But in my case, obviously for demonstration, I'll be using the staff one, okay? So what I'll do is I'll start VirtualBox. Okay, and this time what we're going to do is go machine, add. Now because we've already made the machine up, okay, you go into your VM store, you go to your folder, so there's mine's here, VM. Now there's Windows 10 test, that's the one I just made. So go open, and there we go, that's it. I've got it. Now I can start that machine then. And there we go, there's our machine up and running, so we can log into it. Now, once you log in, I'll just put in the password. Now make sure, help me put in the right password. Yeah, I don't want that, I just want back to login. Right, what I would say is, once you've done this, make sure that your machine is shut down properly. Okay, and once it's shut down, what it'll do is, every time, make sure you shut it down. Once you've shut it down, I'm just going to close, power off, right, so, right, once it's powered off, make sure it's saved, and then what it'll do is it'll save automatically to your folder. So in my case, it's automatically saved to here without me having to go look for anything else. Don't put it in the save state, anything else. And then what you can do, next time you want to get a machine going, remember, like I said, machine, add, and go find your machine. And that's how you do. It's dead easy. So if you've got a couple of machines to add to, say, your server 2019, then it's same process, machine, add. So get it set up first of all into your folder that you get given, and once you've got your machine set up in there, make sure again in your VirtualBox that when you start a VirtualBox, it's meant to show you that. So Oracle VirtualBox, if you're on a different machine, meant to say, yeah, is machine, sorry, file preferences. Make sure that it's going to, there's on the, it's going to the default. Want to change that and go down to VM store and then choose your name, so wherever you're storing it, that's my VM folder, and then OK. So that's me going to get this. So if I start that machine again, just to double check it and show you, yeah, it's running fine. And Windows 10 will start. So there you go. So it's going to work every time. So that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, what you have to make sure is that you map a drive. Okay, so remember, go in and put in your // so it's // GCFSRV02. Yeah, get that. Get this screen up, map that drive, and once you've mapped your drive, you've got access to your machines. Okay, now I'm just going to close up, power off. Just now, just doing it the quick way. Don't you do it that way? Shut it down properly. But again, it's machine, add, yeah, and go into your, there's VM store, staff, George McAteer, and VM. So whatever your path is on the system, make sure you get it from there. Okay, I'm going to cancel that, and that's it. I mean, there's not much more I can say about that. I hope that helps you. Any kind of problems, you know where I am. Send me a message, and I'll get them sorted.